Good morning, everybody, and welcome. This is our November 20th regular meeting of the Mason County Commission. Commissioner Schutte, would you do us the honor of leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Commissioner District 1, Randy Netherland.
I am here.
Commissioner District 2, Kevin Schutte.
Here.
Commissioner District 3, Terry Drexler.
Here.
Item number 4, correspondence and organizational business. Do we have correspondence to come before this commission?
Yes. Republic Services sent in a letter regarding the Blue Box Recycling Program and waste export. Washington State Liquor and Cannabis Board sent notification of pending marijuana extraction operation for Toucan Farms at 391 East Export Road in Shelton. And the Department of the Navy sent in a letter regarding notice of availability of final supplemental environment impact statement for the Land Water Interface and Service Pier Extension Project at Naval Base Kitsap Bangor.
Excellent, thank you. Item number 5, is there any other correspondence or organizational business to come before us? Sorry. Item number 5 is our open forum for citizens input. This is your opportunity to speak to the commission on any item that is not on the agenda. If it's on the agenda, we ask that you wait. You'll be given an opportunity to testify at that time if you like, or if you like, ask questions about that same issue. With that being said, is there anybody in here who would like to speak on any issue that is not on the agenda? I had a feeling no. So hearing none, we will move forward. Item number 6 is the adoption of the agenda.
Mr. Chair, I move approval of today's agenda as presented.
I'll second.
Yeah, it's been moved and second as for the approval of today's agenda as presented. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. The motion carries. Approval of the minutes.
Mr. Chair, I move the approval of the October 16th and October 23rd regular meeting minutes.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded for the approval of the October 16th and October 23rd, 2018 regular meeting minutes. Any additions or subtractions?
No.
Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. The motion carries. Next up is our approval of our action agenda. All items listed under the action agenda may be enacted by one motion unless a commissioner or citizen requests the item be removed from the action agenda and considered as a separate item. We'll read each of these items to you. You'll be given an opportunity to ask questions that would help you to decide whether or not it should be taken off for a separate vote. But if you want to testify, please take it off for a separate vote, and we'll do it and handle it that way. With that being said, let me just double check what I have here. All right, Commissioner Drexler, would you please take 1 and 2? And Commissioner Schutte, if you will take 3 and 4, I will take 5 and 6.
Today's action agenda, item 8.1, approval of warrants and treasurer electronic remittances, claims clearing fund warrants number 8060364 through 8060526, totaling $536,453.52. The direct deposit fund warrants 54265 through 54644, totaling $658,303.19. And then the salary clearing fund warrants 7004012 through 7004049, totaling $965,749.94. 8.2, approval of the resolution adopting the 2018 Comprehensive Economic Development Strategy, CEDS project lists, as recommended by the Mason County Economic Development Council.
Item 8.3, approval to amend Resolution 5618 to revise the non-represented salary scale range alignment by approving the request to create interim Deputy Director of Public Works and County Engineer classifications in the Public Works Department, both at salary range 44. Approval to remove the Deputy Director, Public Works, County Engineer at salary 44, and authorization to fill the positions. Item 8.4, approval of the resolution for participants of the PEB medical program, which allocates through the pooling method $937.58 per month, county contribution for single enrollments on medical, and $1,369.10 per month for elected officials, eligible non-represented employees, and any collective bargaining agreements, general services, and probation in place, but not ratified on January 1st, 2019 with dependent enrollments, and $1,421.10 per month for those collective bargaining agreements, community family health, deputy prosecutors, and public defenders in place and ratified on January 1st, 2019.
Item number 8.5, approval to have the board sign and extend the janitorial services with Bella Casa for extension of 1 year till 2019. Item number 8.6, approval to set a public hearing on December 11th at 9:30 a.m. in order to consider the approval of the following supplemental appropriations and budget transfers to the 2018 budget. There's a whole list that is on record, but the things that need to be read at the moment are supplemental request to the current expense fund would be $36,091. Supplemental request to the special funds, $370,000. And budget transfers from current expense ending fund balance, $32,392. And budget transfers from the special funds ending fund balance, $157,617. These are all the totals of all of them put together from the individuals. With that being said, is there...
One more,
Commissioners, one more.
8.7.
I didn't see an 8.7. 8.7, approval of the resolution to close Old Belfair, the whole reason why you're here, the Old Belfair Highway at approximate milepost 0000 to milepost .100 on Sunday, December 2nd, 2018 from 3:30 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. Now that these items have been read to you, are there any items that anybody would have any questions on that would help them to decide whether or not to take it off for a separate vote? Yes, sir.
Yeah, 8.3.
Now, would you like that one taken off for a separate vote, or you have a question?
I have several questions, and then we'll. Can I?
Yeah, if it's a question that'll help you to decide whether to take it off, go ahead and ask your question. If you want to take it off and testify, though, we'll just go ahead and take it off, and you'll be given an opportunity to ask all kinds of questions and testify.
Okay, I want to take it off.
Okay, so we will take item 8.3 off. Any other questions or any other items anybody want taken off for a separate vote? Commissioners, anything? Okay,
Mr. Chair, I move the approval of items 8.1 through 8.2, skipping 8.3, and move 8.4, 8.5, 8.6, and 8.7.
Second?
yeah, it's been moved and second for the approval of the action agenda items 8.1, 8.2, removing 8.3, then 8.4 through 8.7. Any further discussions or comments?
Glad to have the SEDS project list, and we're getting closer to having them prioritized in a very systematic fashion.
Okay, I do have one comment. On this, we're looking to close the Old Belfair Highway portion there for an incredibly wonderful local parade. I hope everybody has an opportunity to come and see it. It is always fun, and it's getting bigger and bigger every year, though. It won't be long, it'll have to extend this even further. So please, come on out December 2nd to Belfair for an incredible local parade. With that being said, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. The motion carries. Next, we'll bring back up item number 8.3, approval to amend resolution 56-18 to revise the non-represented salary scale range alignment by approving the request to create interim Deputy Director of Public Works and County Engineer classification in the Public Works Department, both at a salary range 44. Approval to remove the Deputy Director of Public Works, County Engineer at a salary 44, and authorized to fill the positions. Would somebody like to speak on that for a moment to say what that is? Please.
Frank Pinter, Support Services Director. And as the Commissioner mentioned, this is a request for a resolution to eliminate one position, which is a combined county engineer and deputy director public works, and create two separate positions, one an interim deputy director and a separate county engineer position, both at a salary scale range of 44.
Thank you. Does anybody have questions for staff in regards to his testimony? And then you'll be given, yes.
Well, why are they splitting? Why are they splitting the position?
As I understand, and I'm not the Director of Public Works, it's to create a deputy director, an interim, and to bring back the county engineer as a separate position.
And this intern, what's the time frame? I didn't see.
There isn't
May I-
any
may I
set
speak to
time
that?
frame.
Yeah,
Please.
So there's a planned retirement of our Public Works Director, and we're looking for some continuity and having an interim put in place for succession planning.
And when does he retire?
He hasn't made the decision exactly when, but he's indicated it'd be probably sometime next year.
and it is expected to be no more than 6 months.
And, okay, the job description for it is less than, it looks like they scaled the qualifications down from, to me, what it should be. If this person's going to be supervising the engineer, I would think that they should have the same qualifications, at least. They should have a civil
Yeah.
engineer.
And you'll be given an opportunity to testify. This is for questions only at
Okay,
this point.
okay.
Is there any other questions? Hearing none, thank you.
Okay.
Please, if there's somebody who would like to testify, now would be your opportunity. We ask that you come forward.
I have one more question.
Oh, okay.
Why don't they combine the position like it used to be? It used to be director / engineer.
Okay, well, I know that we looked at, there is no direct answer for that, because we looked at different options, and this is what came forward. So it isn't, they went out and looked at applicants, and what they came back with was that we didn't have applicants to fit that for this, at this time. So this was the recommendation by the director that was brought to the commission. And then it's before us today to decide whether that's what we want to do, the way this is set up.
Okay.
Any other questions?
I'll have some more discussion.
Okay, that's all right. Is there anybody else who would like to testify at this time? Okay, hearing none, we would like to ask if there's somebody who would like to testify. Sorry, if you would like to testify and give your opinions on some of these issues, now would be the time. We'll ask that you raise your hand, be recognized by the chair. We'll have you come up, and then please give us your name, perhaps where you're from, and remember to direct all questions to us.
Okay.
Yes, please, come on up.
Okay. Hi, I'm Rick Blake. My address is 151 West Husky Lane.
Where's
And
that?
what-
I never heard Husky Lane before.
No, it's off from Hill Hill Road,
Okay, yeah. Have you heard that one?
that general
Okay.
area. Here, History.
Thank you, Mr. Boyd.
Does that indicate who you're rooting for on Friday in the Apple Cup, or
No, not.
just a happy coincidence?
I'm kind of thinking that the Cougars might have that sold up. They're doing pretty good. I just, as a taxpayer, I don't understand why that we can't find a qualified engineer to do that position. Even if we got to bump the salary, you're going to save money. I mean, we're all taxpayers. We should be able to save money on this by putting it back in one person. Jerry Hoff used to have that position. So the old commissioners, got rid of him. I know, I worked under him. So, and why, what's the big, there really isn't that big a hurry. I mean, there's plenty of time if he isn't gonna retire until next year to do thorough interviewing and find a qualified person for this position. And I just don't get it. Why, I don't get why we're scaling the qualifications down for the job unless we just want to slide somebody in there for a short period of time. But I know how that usually works. They usually end up, that's their job. And I don't see how, like I said before, I don't see how that somebody with a lesser qualifications is going to supervise and dictate to the engineer. I don't see that working very well. And I just don't think it's right. I think it's going to cost the county too much money. You know, salary's 44. You guys know what that is. That's a lot of money. And you're putting 2 extra positions in there, but I just hope that you pull it and you do make them go out and get some qualified people. I guess that's all I have to say. I'm not the best public speaker, but I hope I got my point across.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Commissioner?
Well, maybe I'll wait till this.
Okay. Is there anybody else who would like to testify at this time? Okay, hearing none, we will move to entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I do move to amend Resolution 5618 to revise the non-represented salary scale alignment by approving the interim Deputy Director Public Works and County Engineer classifications at salary range 44 and remove the Deputy Director Public Works County Engineer at salary range 44 and authorization to fill the positions.
Second?
Okay, it's been moved and seconded for the approval to amend Resolution 56-18 to revise the non-represented salary scale range alignment by approving the request to create interim Deputy Director of Public Works and County Engineer classifications in the Public Works Department, both at salary range 44. Approval to remove the Deputy Director Public Works / County Engineer at salary range 44 and authorization to fill the positions. Comments?
I appreciate Mr. Blake's testimony and the confusion around this. I admit that this has been very difficult for me to grasp, but it came from months and months and months of Mr. Houth looking for a replacement for our previous Deputy Director / County Engineer, and then found that there potentially is a good internal candidate for a county engineer, and then the interim director position again is a succession planning. There may be an internal candidate for that as well. These 2 positions aren't. They're almost lateral. They would not be. One would not be really supervising the other, so to speak. There's considered at the same level, with the overall direction from the current director, with the interim director having the ability to prepare for potentially moving into, should this commission decide, into that director position. It is confusing. It is. I had a hard time grasping it myself, but I don't think, given the job market out there, any amount of money would have gotten us more candidates. It just had been that long. I think it was about 7 months that he was looking for a replacement for these positions. So it's not ideal, but it's a good workaround for some of the struggles we're having with workforce.
Excuse me. This is for the commissions. Go ahead.
I would just also add that we went through multiple national searches as well, so it wasn't just a regional or a local search, and we kind of got what we got back. And I think the points are well taken. I think, but the interim title there gives me is giving us an opportunity to try this, to see if this is an effective succession plan. If it's not, I think we're very open to going back to the traditional way of organizing public works. But this gives us a chance to work through some of those issues in the next several months. And I also think that the statutes they give quite a bit of deference to a county engineer in terms of decision-making authority and ability. That I don't anticipate there being an issue where the interim deputy director would be in a position to overrule or undermine or question the decision-making abilities of the county engineer based on the protections that they have under statute. So given all of that, I'm confident that this gives us a chance to help move Public Works in a positive direction forward, and we'll come back in 6 months, and if it's not working, then we'll reevaluate it and go from there. But this has been thoroughly discussed and vetted at the commission level in briefings with public works staff, with HR staff, and we think this gives us the best chance moving forward.
And I'm going to agree with that. We've been through a lot with this question. And it's odd, that you mentioned Jerry Houth as he was the one that held both of them. He's also the one that's the director again now. And with him being the director again now, it's him that's making these recommendations. So based on his recommendations is why we're moving forward with this. And they have gone out. We've done a lot of different things to try and find people to fill these positions. And again, they have not been successful. It could make a difference if we raised a wage for this one or that one. But we have a whole county we have to think about. When you, like a balloon, you push somewhere, it's got to come from somewhere else. That's just the way it works. But with that being said, again, this is on their recommendation. And one of the best things I've heard said up here by the commission is the fact that if it don't work, it don't stay. So it's literally that simple. This is something that's been recommended. We will look at this. We're going to be supportive of our director's choices. But again, if it doesn't work, we will have to look at it again. That's what we do. So with that being said, is there any other comments?
I would just add to that we are making this decision because we have confidence in our public works director and in the direction that he wants to take the department while he's still here. And we certainly went through those conversations at length, and he can tell you that himself. I think this was a challenging process in many ways because there were a number of questions and that needed to be resolved from the commission level, and it's important that we have confidence in the direction that he wants to take the department.
Anything further? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. The motion carries. Next up, other business, department heads, elected officials. Are there any department heads or elected officials who? Hearing none, we'll move forward to item number 10, which is public hearings. We have none. Board reports and calendars. Commissioner Drexler, Commissioner Schutte, and then myself, please.
Last week, following our commission meeting, I attended the Washington State Association of Counties Board of Directors meeting in which we approved a budget to go forward for ratification by the membership that following Thursday, as well as a number of other items. We had our budget workshop on Wednesday the 14th, and then I attended the my last meeting of the Transportation Improvement Board, and very happy to have voted yes and approved the $760,000 worth of Transportation Improvement Board funding for the city of Shelton. Their plan is to complete the sidewalks from 8th Street all the way to the city limits on Railroad Avenue, and then do some road improvements on Railroad too. So we're getting closer to having a great gateway coming into the city of Shelton, and I appreciate the efforts the city of Shelton are taking now to access these funds. I was in my first year or two there were no applications from the city of Shelton, and now they've gotten both the Alder Street project and this street project approved, and I'm glad they're accessing those funds. Attended the Great Bend Center for Music's Creation concert on Sunday the 18th. Wonderful organization, wonderful concert, bringing really, really high-class music to Mason County for anybody that wants to go sing. So they are looking for folks to join the choir and potentially go to New York for a concert in New York next May. We had our briefings yesterday, and then following today's meeting, I will be attending a Port of Shelton meeting, Mason Transit Authority meeting. I have no meetings scheduled for Wednesday, and then we'll have the Thanksgiving holiday, and back here for briefings on Monday the 26th.
Good, Mr. Chair. Just a couple of items from last week, and then looking ahead. I had a chance to sit down with Dave Wyndham and Alex Pacey from DCD, Department of Community Development, and talk about some issues in Hoodsport. We continue to find challenges there with shoreline and then water quality and septics there. And so we're trying to work on finding solutions that are affordable for residents there and that help them address their issues. But when you get into areas along the shoreline, you just have a lot of geographic constraints that make it difficult to do cheap and effective septic replacements. And so there's a lot of these regulations come down to us, as they usually do, from the State Department of Health. And so we have to continue working with them to find alternatives that are cost effective. Otherwise, we're going to continue to have people that are priced out and they cannot afford to do the upgrades that are necessary to keep them where they are, and then, you know, of course, obviously protect water quality in that area. So that'll be an ongoing issue, and look forward to continuing to hit that with our staff. Going forward, I have a meeting with Loretta Swanson up at Public Works and Evan Bowder from the Conservation District this afternoon to talk about funding for projects out in the Skokomish Valley to address flooding out there. Also have our Mason Transit meeting this afternoon. Tomorrow I have a meeting, an agenda setting meeting with staff on the Behavioral Health and Housing Advisory Board, and then a meeting with Steve Gilmore from Republic Services, talk about some issues that they're working on. And I just, with that, head into the Thanksgiving holiday. Wish everybody a very happy Thanksgiving, and very grateful for the opportunity to continue to work and serve people of Mason County, and look forward to everybody having a relaxing and safe holiday. Keep in mind all those that work for the county that will be at work on Thursday, in particular in our jail and in our sheriff's department.
Okay, executive session right after our last meeting, Housing Behavioral Health Coalition meeting, meeting of the ARC. I also met with our, what's this title? Leo, our chief financial CPA, Frank, and the state auditor to go over some of the issues that we were having, and I think that we all worked well together and were able to overcome some issues that were hanging over our heads. Budget workshop, EDC retreat, meeting of the audit committee, meeting of the Peninsula Regional Transportation Organization. I attended the Port of Allen's fundraiser for the Sergeant Oyster House, which was wonderful. I also attended a retirement party for Jan Angel, Senator Angel. I think it was interesting. First of all, it was wonderful to attend, and it was very emotional. But the thing that was interesting, I realized I'd never actually attended a retirement party for an elected official before. I have a feeling most of the time they don't just retire out like that. They are changed. But it was interesting. She made her choice, and this was the end of the year, and she's done a lot. She's a wonderful lady and a great example for other young ladies out there. And then we had our briefings again. After this, we have a meeting of the Mason Transit Authority. I'll be meeting with the Boy Scouts. Once a year, they have me come in to be an elected official so they can get their badges. Next year, perhaps you could do that. I'm sure you would love it. It actually really is fun. They ask you a lot of questions. It takes about an hour by the time they're done, but it's incredible. I'll be meeting with the ARC Executive Director. We have our briefings. I have one Canvas Board meeting on Monday, North Mason Community Voice meeting, Canvas Board meeting on Tuesday, Board of Health, and that brings us back to our regular commission meeting. With that being said, does anybody have anything further?
No. Mr. Chair, I move that we adjourn.
Second.
It's been moved and second. We adjourn. Any further comment? Hearing no objection, we are adjourned.